So I'm admitting people now.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, shalom, salam everyone. The Efrat from Jerusalem. Thank you so much for keep coming to our weekly vigil. Do this work together. Your support and your presence is such a big support for us. And last week we put on the screen a map, so it will be so we could see the more close area. Now we are seeing another map of the whole Middle East, which shows more the other country and the proportion between the countries. So you can see in the center, in the yellow, this is Israel. And between Israel and Jordan, this is the West Bank in gray. And a small spot in the west-south of Israel, the border with Egypt. This small point is Gaza Strip. So you can see Gaza Strip between Israel and Egypt. And actually Israel has a border with Egypt, in the south, with Jordan in the east, with Syria in the northeast, and Lebanon in the north. So now maybe it can bring, now we have the two picture, one picture of the whole Middle East and the one that we had last week. I also want to point out Iraq, which is east of Jordan and Syria, and is a main player, if we can call it, in all this event. Thank you. To you, Uta.
Okay, thank you, Efrat. Thank you, everyone, for coming again, for holding this focus, this impulse from week to week, many months already. And we hope by this continued holding this field that we do our contribution to resolving this conflict that is not only local, but part of a much, much wider happening, actually a planetary happening, planetary process. Thank you for writing to us your impressions. I repeat again that we very much appreciate it, even if we don't get to answer each one, but we do read each one and it helps shape this meditation. From week to week, we have small changes according to your input. So please keep it coming, and this is a work together. Okay. So let us settle into our inner quiet. Just taking a few deep breaths. Touching base in ourselves and with the earth. Feeling our heart. And finding within it a point of equilibrium. Our mind expands into a silence, into a spaciousness, and yet being focused. And we stand as souls, as silent watchers. Linking in now with each other. And in our imagination, let us form a circle, a witnessing circle around Israel and the Palestinian areas. And include in our picture, inner picture, the many people from all over the world who join us in this circle of care. Let us just take a moment to hold together this heart space, releasing all else, just holding, silent and focused. And joining now also our minds into a one-pointed focus, standing in the will to peace. A peace commanding presence. And we sense our higher co-workers who stand with us and who form a second circle around us. And just opening ourselves now to their focused love. Feeling this stabilizing love, the will to love, being radiated from them, feeling it especially in the area of our heart, between the shoulder blades. And as impartial observers, let us now focus in on the region. Starting with the area of Israel. Getting a sense of the location, the size, and also allowing ourselves to sense into the emotional and mental space of Israel. Now shifting our awareness to the West Bank. Getting a sense of where it is located, its size, and also the emotional and mental field. Just witnessing, breathing, and now focusing in on the Gaza Strip. Again, getting a sense of the location and the size. And the emotional and mental sphere, field. Focusing in now on the border area between Gaza and Egypt. And expanding our view across that border into Egypt, realizing the role that Egypt has at this moment. Now moving to Jordan, to the east. Sensing into this energy, this consciousness. And now shifting to Syria in the northeast. And now to the north, to Lebanon. Endeavoring to hold this whole picture, being aware that it is part of the wider Middle East region as a whole. And as we hold this big picture, let us touch back for a moment with our higher co-workers standing behind us. And aligning with the stream of the will to love coming from them. Again, feeling it especially in our heart center between the shoulder blades. At that place where love and will unite. Standing between our higher co-workers and the people in this area of tension, of war. Let us remember that we are all souls, sisters and brothers of the one human family. And now as a group of soul-guided servers, let us invoke the soul consciousness of all participants in this war. Let us visualize all the inhabitants going through a process, moving through the suffering towards soul awareness. Let us accompany this process with our heart, with our will to love. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let us sense now, coming from our higher co-workers, a shaft of pure golden white soul light streaming through us, through each of our hearts, broad and brilliant, pouring through onto the area, the whole area. Let our combined soul light flood it. See clarifying, strengthening light surrounding the thinkers on both sides and in other nations, those who work behind the scenes for a solution based on the highest good of all. See these peace workers, these workers of the new era, being aligned with their souls and with their higher guidance and being held in a protective space. And visualize these thinkers evolving new ways towards resolution, which are firmly based on our common humanness. And see these new thought forms of solutions slowly taking shape, slowly gaining substance, while the outer happenings continue behind the scenes, these new thought forms gaining substance. And see the whole mental space in which they emerge, slowly becoming lighter, brighter, more penetrable for soul energy. And visualize this soul energy flowing through into the emotional sphere of the whole area. And down into the earth. See a purifying energy flowing through. And visualizing it as a subjective support for the many small local initiatives on both sides that are born out of the pain and the slowly gathering will for another way. The will to another way. The readiness for another way. Visualize seeds of a higher order slowly appearing in the region out of all these everyday small sparks of light. A higher order based on right relations. Let's see it taking shape bit by bit in the entire Middle East. Let's take a moment to hold space for this possibility. the entire Middle East, and see this soul light go out now as a blessing throughout the world. And as we sound now the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic, let us radiate the possibility of a new day into the consciousness of the people in the Middle East.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת אהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה ללבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים, משרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, ושם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור, אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب لقلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندعون بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.